Oh, hey guys, it's time to answer the age-old question. Rich or bitch? Let's find out if this Hearthstone player knows what he's talking about or he's just pulling shit out of his ass and taste testing it. If you like my unhinged behavior, please subscribe, because a lot of people don't. But one thing is for sure, you can't actually be objective when you talk about Hearthstone. I know, crazy, right? Uh, the only subjective piece about Hearthstone, let me pull it up, is where you prefer to be on the triangle. For example, I like to be on tempo cheese, somewhere around here, preferably, right? I like to fucking cheese a little bit, spam a bunch of cards. Miracle Rogue is mainly cheese, right? So somewhere around here. Maybe it has its own name, who knows, right? Because I found like these like little gaps can also be named a little bit. Oh, your first time seeing this triangle? Well, I'm sorry, dude. You're too late. We might need it in this video, I don't know. Since we decided that Kibler is a bitch, we're still waiting for a person to give us high IQ opinions, right? Kibler is kind of on the wrong side of history in general, I think. I still kind of disapprove his content altogether, but his opinions are just as bad. Besides one thing, the stupid Protoss mage, he cried, and Kibler was never heard by Blizzard. Why do you think Blizzard is gonna listen to you, boy? You know, if they would listen, they would remove the Protoss mage without it lasting months and months and months and just fucking obliterating my brain cells. Like, that was the greatest pain in the ass. This is one of those ultra respect to Kibler for just crying out loud. Thank you so much. It's basically my territory. Opinions is what I thrive upon. Alright, welcome. You just woke up? Yeah? Let me help you how to navigate my channel to find opinions. Oh wait, it's too complicated actually. I probably should make a new playlist. I have like rants. Maybe that helps. But I probably should. So if I look into it, do I see Kibler or not? Because I probably should make a new playlist. Yeah. There's the Zeddy problem. I mean, overall, these videos do pretty well, so maybe it's just... You just click popular and fish through here for now. I can call like debate or opinion counter. You would still have to scroll though. Here it is. Kibler twice. His opinion was successfully denied. And I did have to say tempo exists. Yeah, crazy. Can someone explain me why Kibler doesn't go from Diamond 5 to Legend? What's that about? Why is he in the middle of things all the time? Sometimes, well, yeah, sometimes he does go Legend. I just don't notice those times very well. I guess my bad, you know, I was just hanging around, hitting Legend a little bit too fast sometimes. But that's all the clout I have in this game. I don't really like climbing. Let's put it that I'm a deck builder, and I understand like the deeper aspects of game design and how ugly Hearthstone can get. Recently with preparation, and I just loved climbing with Pirate Warrior all the way to Legends. I'm in a good mood, actually. I don't want to trash or take a piss on Hearthstone, but every single time I'm in a good mood, the rest of the fucking world seems to be upset that mini set is now class set. Panic attack. Fucking panic attack. So I genuinely feel it's not even that deep. But let's find out. Is he gonna speak Russian? It flashed Russian for a second. I hope not. Are you a real content creator or just like making shit up as you go? Holy crap, man. How much you paid for that?
Dear friends, hello everyone. Very long time. Any guide
Alright.
to breakdown? There was no reason for it.
Yeah, he is being translated here.
Nor was there much desire. But the changes today, developers, so they might make some mass layoffs, some staff changes.
I mean, don't just fucking throw that around, dude. That's very aggressive.
Or perhaps add more staff, like a snowball.
Make me a game director, just in case, alright?
It's simply unstoppable, because their top management might not even know about this. And the people making the decisions are, first of all, absolutely incompetent, and secondly...
You know who's actually incompetent? The competition! Imagine that. It's in the words. While Hearthstone is frustrating, I fucking lose teeth thinking about how many card games have died, and how many continue to die, and the fact that Might and Magic Fates actually sucks. It has been revealed that it actually sucks. They have this ultimate mechanic of immortal monsters, basically. You play something on the board, it never fucking dies. It's like, wow, fascinating. And it's obviously pretty expensive, that thing. Oh, it's pretty special. Don't worry, guys. Other card games are worse. That's why you don't know any of them.
They are simply failing to do the job for which they are paid huge money.
Yeah, I guess that's the crux of the other card games' problems. Huge money does not exist. Hearthstone is hogging that shit up. It's kind of double-edged sword, because I don't like Hearthstone that much either. I would prefer a new card game show up and just show how it's done. And still, the most preferable card game for me is Elder Scrolls Legends. But that shit died, killed itself, rolled down the fucking hill, set itself on fire, and it cannot be fucking resurrected anymore. It cannot even be looked at. I mean, try and dig out some old school videos about Elder Scrolls Legends. Congratulations. That was the fucking card game that I was like, yeah. They know what the fuck they're doing. I genuinely, like, I proposed another thing. We can make a card game. You can fund me with attention, with praise. I mean, I have plenty of money. You can also sacrifice yourself to be my disciple and learn how to fucking make games or whatever. But we can make better card games than Hearthstone, 100%. If I can crank out in 2 days a game that I'm just like, yeah, this is it. This is my pastime now. No one's stopping me from this. If I can do that, basically anything is possible. You just have to take it easy. Because good ideas go much further away than sloppy ideas. Just throw shit at the wall, see what sticks, you know, that sort of attitude. It's not exactly accurate anymore. People have tried many things. You can actually copy-paste things that already work to some extent. You can see the homework that other people already did. They work very hard. That's why someone like myself can still be competitive in card game space. There is one problem. I'm not motivated to work hard. This is not one of those things that I'm just like, this is the ultimate direction that I have to follow. I'm actually quite confused in life, like what to do. But it's like, it's this self-sacrifice. I don't know. I'm also not motivated because people are kind of assholes very often. I know, irony. I have to be a little bit of an asshole right now. But if you say stupid shit, I have problems with that. Like, we're not actually making any progress. We have this grandiose introduction that will entice a lot of people to watch this video and promote this video, but in the end of the day, what is the actual fucking thing you can point at? For 24 minutes, bro has to, like, fucking pull out machine gun and say this bad, this bad, this bad, this bad. We have to, like, go through a fucking education system to be able to actually understand what's so bad right now that another person just spoke up about it. I wouldn't offer 24 minutes video. I would offer you to watch, I don't know, 50 hours of my content. Then you would understand. But the biggest problem with Hearthstone right now, and if it's not mentioned, fuck you, basically. The biggest problem right now in Hearthstone is play cards. Play cards to win game. That is not okay. Playing one card is not strategy. There's no skill in that. Okay, this is the maximum incompetence when one card triumphs over every other card. When you can just summon a bunch of 8-drops early on and fucking roll the opponent really fast because, well, what am I supposed to do? If I don't have removal, it's over. If I wasn't ready for it, it's over. If your minions randomly too big to fail, or just somehow has a giant taunt in the way, like, oops. It's not fun, guys. Play card win game moments. We have actually reduced it a little bit since at least into Ziliax was the ultimate spam. It was even worse when Reno was existing, basically. That was the ultimate card that you win with that had to be nerfed like 5 times. Ziliax also had to be nerfed 5 times, if not 10 times. 10 times might have made it good Ziliax. It was always bad. It was always making your opponent go into full HP again. All of a sudden, turn 9, reset the fucking game, basically. As if nothing happened. And all my opponent had to do is play card. You must understand, this is the ultimate failure of why the game is so disgusting right now. And why babies are more inclined to play this game than real human beings. Alright? A real human being is not going to be smiling after playing one card in one particular turn. That's bullshit. Same happens with Boardclears. You see a board, you play a fucking card, the board disappears, everyone's happy. I don't know, man. I think that's pretty fucking cheesy. Especially with, like, these massive Boardclears that disregard stats altogether. I played a Murloc game that I actually want to show you guys. It's the most frustrating shit of all time. Granted, I might not actually find it. Is that a one? Oh. It basically was a Warlock that was able to clear my board over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. That's all that was happening. I was building a board because it's Murlocs. It's kind of boring as well. And he was just clearing the board. And we're just a perpetual stalemate until I, of course, add some divine shields, basically. Until I find a spectacular way out of this. Infinite noise, rather, because it's not like my opponent is doing anything interesting. They're just stalling the game. They're wasting my time. That's not fucking good. Most card games actually attempting now to respect your time, to end the game as fast as possible. Right? Marvel Snap is the prime example of things end at turn 6. And nothing you can do about, oh, there's turn 7 sometimes. That's it, dude. Nothing you can do. It's over. That design philosophy is way more appealing than just getting locked into a fucking endless cycle of nothing happening, basically, in the game. What is even the point of playing the game, right? Most of the time, you should confiscate the stupid shit from the opponent so they don't have a way to waste your time. A thing that they can do that is, like, very unfun to look at. Like, this is the design philosophy that just everyone can get behind. But there's actually a big population of assholes who love control decks, who love spamming Boardclears, who demand corpse explosion because it's too hard, man. It's too hard. Corpse explosion will save me, though. What the fuck are those people, man? Holy shit! We actually have a population of those kind of idiots who don't actually play the game, but still want to play the game, which is like, you're not playing the game, though. What are you doing? You're just reacting to other people playing the game in front of you, and you call it fucking, like, entertainment. Holy shit, man. And so we have, like, if we were actually to vote on something, we would have a division of 2 groups of people. The idiots, who think they're cool, who think they're just, like, part of this cool gang, the large vocal population of control players who are actually the assholes of the game who are ruining everything. basically. Every time they get something for themselves, all they get is basically a bunch of board clears and ways to stall the game. That's it. Until frustration ensues. Of course, that could just be my bias, because I don't play OTK decks. You know, this is one of those things you can actually still be bothered by, because again, as a tempo player, I am biased against all the control players, right? Simple. Or like stall players. They're even worse than control. Control can actually have a win condition. Stall players, they just fucking waste your time. And the first strategy you literally have to pick up is like, when do I concede? You literally have, that's one of the most important things you have to think about in Hearthstone. When do I concede? When do I pull the trigger? So this is my wish list, basically. What I want to hear from this video. If I'm not hearing bitch, basically. Alright?
Buddy paid without any editing. This will be no exception. This will also be without editing in one
Been doing that for years, buddy.
take. In one take. Talking point.
One take.
Here I have written a whole information.
You have a pause and play button at
in a
least.
structured and quick way. 2020 and
First part, we gotta call out the bitch here, because you are a competitive player. You genuinely are not having fun with the game. Like, you just can't do that. You can't pretend that you're having fun with the game. Like, you have some ulterior motives. I don't really trust, like, these pro players either. I'm actually confused why they hang out for so long, right? Will he win tournament? Again, I really hope he has very good opinions based on his, you know, power level around here. We actually didn't get to hear, like, pro players speak out like this. I wonder why, right? I wonder why. So just, like, by default, don't take offense, but I just don't like that sort of, like, area of expertise. People like that, they live in a whole different dimension where things work that you wouldn't even expect those things to work. There's certain decks that work, like, it's actually unrelatable for the majority of players what these fucking pro players are able to do. Even I can barely comprehend most of the time. I'm not sure I can unpack this, like, mystical feeling that I have that, like, these pro players are not really having fun. Like, they literally soak in their life into a game. It's devastating. Of course, you have to, like, feel pity for them. That's fine. But at the same time, what they're doing is inhumane to themselves. I would never choose this sort of lifestyle for myself. It's ridiculous. When I hit legend is when things are going my way for that particular season. And that's it. And I ain't fucking climbing legend, dude. So I just completely disregard, like, people who really grind day in and day out. I really hope they actually see something in Hearthstone that's, like, genuinely bad. That they at least understand the fucking game that they're playing.
many other things as
Which
well.
would be so weird if they don't, right? But at the same time, I don't know, man.
On the game because it stopped being interesting to play. Now I've returned to the game.
See, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. That's a quick rebuttal
Everything was
on me.
cool after
Actually.
the Cataclysm, but the latest
If he actually took a break, that makes
patches are
sense.
forcing me to. You might say that your game can last 10 turns, for example, which is a lot for the current meta, but in fact you lose on turn 4. Those are the realities of the game.
Turn 4 is a stretch. I don't know which button to
Normally
click,
your
guys.
portrait will explode on the 10th turn, but because he plays the cabinet, he plays the stretch, summons 12 mana worth will explode on turn 7, but you lost already on
Okay, I understand that aspect.
the
That's
4th.
fine.
I think you get transformed,
Alright, that's fine.
hexed,
Yeah,
silenced,
having
and so on.
weaknesses.
Future of card games. Second
Whoever dubbed this, if this AI, that's even fucking incredible. But the way they're dubbing is like they're emphasizing one letter. All these weird sounds come out when they do that. What the fuck?
point is that a lot
It's almost like they're trying to, like, extend so they don't have these, like, empty gaps of silence, but man, it sounds way worse than silence. Holy shit.
should feel deserved.
Holy shit!
And lucky.
Should we click bitch? Because Russian? Yeah? I think we're allowed.
Specifically not with the draw, but both
I
players
should be clicking double clicking, but man, I forgot,
equip the
guys. I
shovel.
forgot.
Both players, one summons a 3/12 bear, 3/12 on 4 mana, while the other
Yes,
summons
this
a
sort of
4/4,
randomness is fucking disgusting.
and accordingly you can't do anything, you've lost. When playing Rogue Mirror, stupidity, the height of RNG, the height of lack of control.
The lack of control is definitely height of stupidity.
Both players play the 8.
Control and the speech. Do you see how disgusting it is to listen to this shit?
One player gets that also.
Wow, our most beloved content creator, basically. At least he's like saying correct things, right?
When something as a death rattle and they're about it.
I mean, thank God he's not saying what the fuck Zeddy says of like, well, RNG is not really RNG. You always get like something good, so it's fine, guys. Zeddy's fucking rebuttal of that is such a disgusting thing to look back to, bro. Of course, this randomness is ridiculous.
Or that 7/7 bottle maker, which turns your cards into bottles. In the previous point, the share of randomness is so high that practically nothing depends
Alright, I'm not
on the
give
player.
him rich.
One could argue about this for a long time. I noted this point for a reason, because with each expansion, the power of cards grows exponentially.
Exponentially is a weird word to use
Let's
for
take
power
the
scaling.
Cataclysm meta. Rise the whole ladder for an entire month, and one Vanessa would win against any deck just by appearing in your hand.
You know, I love that we actually getting a normal explanation of what's going on. I mean, this video is not dumb in any way so far. In any way. Which is not something I can tell about anyone else speaking on these issues. And I still have a hard time watching this video for obvious reasons. Now, Vanessa is a fun card. But it's a cake of randomness at the same time, which is insane. That's my win condition. I can't live without it, okay? Please don't take Vanessa away from me. It's the only thing I have when I run out of cards at the same time. I don't want to run out of cards when other people really don't. They really don't run out of cards. This is literally the only thing we have. Card draw is so fucking nerfed right now in the game. This is it. You need this card. If you are doomed to run out of cards, you have to have this. It's unbelievable how weird it is, but that's what I use it for. It's not necessarily a win condition, but it's also very fun. Very fun, I have to admit. Well, he did pick on Vanessa, so I mean, it's a randomness spike, but everything is randomness. Okay, whatever.
So we understand what a power spike is, right?
I have bias towards fun cards.
Power spike is inflation.
Previously, in ancient times.
Specific card for nothing, because my target and draws 2 cards.
Ah. Is that what it does?
And with all that energy, it costs 3. The value of your decisions is trending towards 0.
It's a good thing to say. It's one of those pieces of my wish list. Since play card win game is a thing, that's definitely trending towards 0 decisions. That's the problem. Like, you have a hand of cards, but there's not a lot of ways you can play those cards. Especially if you don't get, like, a lot of mana crystals to spend in the first place. I think one of the biggest problems is that we're stuck with 1 mana crystal, 2 mana crystal, 3 mana. We're stuck with shit. Alright? And we are doomed to play 1 card at a time most of the time. And then the game is doomed to make 6 mana cards and 7 mana cards astronomically more powerful than they're supposed to be. Just because of the difficulty to survive till those particular turns for these cards to be even playable. And still, a lot of those cards are not playable, despite the power level. Only like a 5 or 6 of them you can add to your deck if you're lucky. I don't know. Or you play control decks, but again, this is not a brag.
Let me read
my
what
friends.
I wrote in my rough.
The reason why I hang out in this particular area is that you play the most amount of cards. Where the most fun is, that's where you're gonna find me. You play the most amount of cards, and you technically win pretty fast as well. You play diverse amount of games. You're just gonna find... I'm probably not even biased. I'm just biased for having fun in general, okay? Where the most fun is, that's where you're gonna find me. on this triangle. So I am biased against control decks because they literally do the thing called ruin fun. Isn't that great? Isn't that the most fucking beautiful thing to do? And they're so proud of themselves at the same time. Like, it's just pure evil. Pure evil of humanity. There's the evil side of Hearthstone. It is what it is. And it's just constantly breathing down my neck. There's no way of getting rid of these assholes. Not only are you gonna find me on a specific part of the triangle, but you'll also find me building my own decks. Because actually, again, just competing is not good enough for me. Yes, you technically have just enough decks to try out until the new expansion comes out, and there's another flood of new decks to try out. But generally speaking, the way you build your decks is also a piece of skill requirement, basically. And it's more fun to, like, look at your collection, look at what little combos you can add, look at what cards you can test. It's always a little bit exciting, right? I personally play the most fun version of Hearthstone, and I look down upon everyone else, because this is a fucking game, and you're supposed to learn that first and foremost, where the most fun is. Quick disclaimer, aggro beats control. It's the sumo decks, the heal decks that actually have 50-50 chance versus aggro, because they're actually, you know, built to withstand a little bit of damage, but aggro can still fucking win, basically, against most of these, like, heavy decks. And this is something people literally don't want to recognize as reality. They always think they can just, like, stomp the aggro decks because aggro decks are just a bunch of one-drops. Sure, if you can have a giant lifesteal minion, if you can reset your health very easily, if the game is imbalanced, you can win with sumo deck, you can crush aggro, alright? Balance also matters on the triangle in the end of the day, right? But in normal circumstances, I find this to be the most solid triangle imaginable. Granted, I just played Pirate Warrior to Legend. What is Pirate Warrior? A fucking aggro deck. What was happening? I stomped a bunch of warlocks and priests. What happened afterwards? When priests and warlocks run out of just trying to defeat me, and then all of a sudden I started struggling, right? Killing these fucking guys, easy. And it's still obviously not gonna be like 100% win rate, but rock, paper, scissors? Yeah, it's very effective. So constantly prove the same thing over and over again. And obviously the Pirate Warrior is borderline OTF, one-turn finisher deck. Alright, finisher. This is the hardest letter to fucking remember, finisher. So it kind of sits over here, mostly, because, like, you're not actually relying on one-turn finisher strategy. It's just gonna happen if it happens, if you really need it. It can deal 30 damage, which is fascinating, but yeah. It sits over here, which is unusual for me because I tend to play these decks, but, you know, if you have a control deck and you're basically beating the meta, fuck yeah, dude. Go ahead. Go do your thing. That works. Very, very often I do climb with an aggressive deck to Legend. Maybe half of the time, I don't know.
Generated card, normal game. Now we've reached the point where the game practically plays itself, generating everything randomly for you. We're playing in a
Alright, whatever. He hammered that point a little deeper.
casino.
It is what it is.
G.
Yeah. This is also very important.
That's the end of it. We're playing in a casino. Many decks now just follow the same pattern, hoping you'll draw a few key cards and get lucky with a massive amount of RNG.
Now, I can give him for the key cards, but now that he said RNG again, I don't know. But then again, how do you draw those cards, right? Like, this is absolutely a general frustration that I had, and my wish list is, you know, getting completion right now. That's
If
pretty
you don't
good.
get lucky, you play. I already gave the example of rogues, or maybe that was in the previous recording. I don't know if this is the third time I'm re-recording because I spent too long analyzing and talking before.
Aww, the consequence of not writing a script. And I do the same thing. Same thing happens, but I don't actually, like, re-record. That would be a bitch
Very
move.
quickly here, so this doesn't turn into
He has to be professional. He's gonna get a lot of views after this. I'm just gonna fucking get 100 views and move on with my life. It's never lucky for me.
To an hour-long video.
All right, my casino not paying off. Okay.
8 drops wins. Whoever gets the better demons wins. Yes, on
Yay!
in the arena, for example, regardless of the matchup.
Regardless of the matchup, your play pattern stays the same. Can I actually agree with this? I don't think this was ever a reality altogether in Hearthstone. I don't think you can just change your play pattern at all in any way. With the exception of maybe you'll like lean onto card generation, maybe you lean onto like building a combo. You can still have that. You can still have a combo inside your deck that like triggers and you deal that 30 damage or finish your opponent. Like it's good enough. I don't know why I would say play pattern doesn't change. Like that's kind of weird. You can still do the same thing.
Yes, on that same pet.
I can understand that the game is just boring itself. Especially like with Herald. It felt the game is just same over and over again. It's the same shit happening. Your opponents are trying to win with the same broken nonsense.
Hunter, you could just play your 20 mana on turn 7. There's just nothing you can do about that. How can you beat a Tortolan plus Omu? Or 2...
Who's Omu? But at the same time, yes, you can do something about it. Concede. That's the ultimate strategy is. There's nothing you can do situations. It is frustrating, but he missed this card in particular, Magma. Magma literally asks you a simple question. Boardclear? No, Boardclear is not even good enough. You'll need something better than Boardclear, which is fucking insane. Most of the time, the only thing they can do is play Boardclear. You asked a question that no one can comprehend anymore. Not even me. This card is not even being played, and yet at the same time, why? This like wins me all the games. Right? There's always something you can do to make it even more painful to face Hunter. To me, this is not even like the biggest problem compared to the fucking Magma, dude.
Tortolans on turn 7. It's just technically impossible to rogue.
If it's impossible, then you just concede. But if it's impossible and it happens very quickly, damn, that fucking sucks.
Throwing 2 drops and then RNGing one pattern. Nothing depends on you.
Yes. All of this like summoning shit is definitely annoying. It's definitely fine for him to like hammer on that shit. The problem that I find is just like it's very surface level video. He's reacting to like a genuine pattern that happened very recently. That's it. Is that it? Is that all you got? Because even though you're rich, those are pennies, man. Those are pennies. You're kind of poor though, not rich.
Of randomness itself, because randomness is something that attracts many players, and it's why people play games.
The real problem is that there's no separate game mode that distinctively gives cards that people enjoy, at least, or people find it competitively clean. That would be fine, right? If there's a competitive scene in Hearthstone and, you know, you want to pour money into it, how about pour a fucking good idea to have a separate game mode to have clean cards, right? And constantly add more cards, but they have to be clean. They have to be balanced and not fucking random. How about that for a change? That would make for a nice competitive gameplay for once. And it might even bring back a lot of content creators too. Might even bring back Riparian himself. Who the fuck knows? We don't really know what the competitive person really craves for, but we know what they really dislike. And what if we try to just like remove that? Because it's always such a core in the game. Like it would feel like completely different game mode altogether. And you don't really have to rotate cards out of that game mode either. It's kind of like competitive wild.
Including HS.
But you would have to balance it, of course, because it's competitive, right? You have to constantly fucking change the numbers. The scariest thing for these developers, guys.
I play because of the community enjoys playing a game that depends entirely on randomness.
Again, it's so funny because this point is exactly the counter opposite of what Zeddy was yapping about. It's fucking ridiculous. Well, the A-traps are relatively the same. Yeah.
And 1-1. You don't understand at all how you won or lost. Or like with Shaman, right? Or on Rogue, you did a ritual, got a spell. From that spell, got another card.
Yes, infinite card generation stuff is pretty ridiculous. Again, why did they nerf card draw, but they still have this infinite generation nonsense happening? What does that tell you? You know, we're just leaning towards more vomit. Because now instead of drawing my cards like a normal person, I have to generate vomit in my hands, all over my hands, just throw something out there. It gets pretty weird. It's like slowly my hands turn into drugs. Like, where did that come from? I used to be rogue, now I'm just like shaman warlock hunter amalgamation. Great.
That card is fit and understood the range.
That's also a very interesting part of randomness. Our gift is always going to be like a good example of toxicity in the game right now. We're talking 20 dragons that can have 10 different buffs. We have a 200 different combinations of whatever the fuck is going to happen. Not every combination is great, but just the idea of it, that you have no idea what to play around or what to expect. I mean, it's a beautiful thing where you just react. Whatever happens, happens. The part of the game where you actually play around something is dead and gone. All right? And at the same time, I don't mind. I don't really like the mind games of it. I would just prefer more of the, more things that I can do in one turn than just play 2 cards. It's not very cool, man.
Of buffs that could be a high roll or not. Blizzard has been and continues to make +1, -1 changes for those who aren't.
This is the worst. This is the worst. Yeah, good video. Fucking, you guys have to bow down to your new king of correct opinions. That's fucking crazy, guys. That's what I'm surprised about. I'm not surprised about people complaining about Hearthstone, but damn. He did correctly. Bow down to this Russian. Elect him as your leader. Because you're never gonna choose me after all. Fuck me, I guess.
Approach,
Well, yeah, nerf and buff approach is the absolute dog shit that I was able to debunk by saying, how about you cut in half? No. God damn it, dude. Cut a card in half. If a card is dominating, it's probably so fucking powerful. Even if you cut it in half, it's still gonna be playable somewhere, somehow. Right? You can probably go all the way and cut the mana cost in half. Just cut the whole effect in half, but also you can make it cheaper so it's still playable. Still people want to do stuff with it. I think even Vanessa would work. No, Vanessa would not work. At like 4 mana, but like you discover a battle cry, but the battle cry is like -1 mana. This doesn't work. But Vanessa would work if it's 1 mana discount, but you have to play 2 cards each. 2 cards each now. Now we're talking. Only 1 mana discount. That's more fun. That's the correct nerf for Vanessa. I would go down for that. I get to play more Vanessa, and it's less powerful. But I just simply need to play more cards. And then I just get whatever I want anyways. Right? If I put more effort, I get more fucking out of it. And I don't flood my hand with a bunch of shit too. Which is so fucking frustrating when your hand is full. Cut it in half is just the ultimate strategy because, again, most cards are goddamn unplayable. And some cards are just playable, but you just play them. Then you're done with the turn. You just fucking... I'm done. I played a 6 mana guy. Your turn, buddy. No, but you win and you cleared my board. What's going on? If you cut a giant Boardclear in half, then probably it cannot just clear all the minions. Either if you're disregarding stats, you have to regard stats again, or you have to clear selective amount of minions, like 3. 3 minions. How about that? Then I can actually play around it. Isn't that crazy? When my opponent has 12 different flavors of Boardclears, do you think I'm able to play around it? At that point, it's just like, whatever, dudes. Whatever happens, I'll just try not to play all my cards at once, you know, for the rest of the fucking existence of this game. All you're trying to do is bait Boardclears. And Boardclears ain't getting those stupid nerfs. They're only getting buffs. Okay? So yeah, granted, this like +1, -1 bullshit is absolutely insane. That's not how you change the game. Not most of the effects are the ones that cause trouble, right? Like you can't just like +1 mana, -1 mana. Eventually, Blizzard was forced to actually redesign a card after 3 nerfs. 3 nerfs that they did to the stupid fucking Hunter card, basically, that spams a bunch of 1-drops. They had to redesign it for 3 times until it finally came to the just perfect fucking power level. It's unbelievable how disgusting it is. How they just can't do the most normal thing of a number change. What the hell is going on? It's so tiny, so negligible, and they always think it's going to work out just fine. Right? Cutting in half would have fixed the problem, and even if it kills the card, there's plenty of dead cards already. It's not going to change anything at all. Besides, you know, rotate the chairs, as they say, as these like pro players say, or very loud players. The chairs will rotate. We will play a different variety of decks a little bit, and a couple of decks will spawn as well. You see, this is not just like rotating chairs. It's just rotating, and another thing is going to be broken. No, but there's going to be 2 new decks that will spawn. How about that for a change? And potentially even 3. It's like cutting off the head of a Hydra. More things will spawn. Because you're doing the right thing, almost. And we love Hydra. What else are we going to be doing if we're not fighting Hydra? Okay, that's kind of dumb thing to say, but whatever.
And a very good, easy, you want to build a house, you need a foundation. And you
I want a house for my Hydra. For my bad example.
Foundation and build a beautiful house on it, including mine and my viewers saying it's impossible to play. Do something about it, but they don't hear us. That's a problem. And according to this is
that's a problem that finally you have the guts to try and solve. They don't hear us. Well, finally you made a video that fucking people hear, maybe. At least people hear is good enough. Alright? We can make our own card game one day. Don't worry about these bitches who make +1, -1. Alright? Design fixes. Aww.
With arguments for each card. And then, less than a month later, an update comes out that incorporates more than half of the changes.
That's a pretty big deal. Blizzard was listening to this guy last time. They might do it again. That's crazy, dude. Thank God he has confidence, but also the correct opinions. Because if he had incorrect opinions and confidence, it's a fucking, perfect set of tools to make a disaster happen right after. This is pretty nice breath of fresh air and a potential good future for the game. I'm a bit late to the party, but, I just discovered this video.
To all players? I don't know, I'm just trying my best to talk about all this without swearing and without emotions, but I really want to curse and
without emotions?
Rant.
That's a terrible personality.
Anyway, that's all just talk.
Not cursing is pretty disappointing.
So
he doesn't need it because he's soaked in so much time, so much life into this game. He doesn't really need to swear as much as I do, because I'm just technically an average guy who's into card games. And nobody fucking cares about me, okay?
I told you about the foundation. here are the ways to solve these. No idea what is actually happening in the game because these lower ranking employees just paint a picture of good statistics, good results, good revenue, and so on.
Yeah, he's punching this pretty well. Granted, he is, you know, painting a picture of average Blizzard employees, low ranked, basically. Pretty sad. But it's very possible. Pro players simply have the obligation to speak up like this. Instead of pretending that it's like, oh my god, I'm breaking silence. Holy shit, this is the old. Everyone's watching me right now. This should be normalized. I have to call it the bitch aura overall, across the entire community. The bitch aura of not speaking up properly. This is still not proper. He's still not, you know, equipped to do this very well. But he can actually spawn things on the screen, which is fantastic. How does he do that? Shit, what if I can do that? What if I can spawn things on the screen? Probably not.
It's good results.
Statistics is the most manipulative?
And so on. The statistics are the most manipulative thing in the world, and accordingly, they do not fully reflect the reality of what is going on.
So crazy.
On paper, everything looks fine, but in reality, it's all a mess. And again, I repeat this.
Well, reality is reality, and there's a lot to learn about statistics, absolutely. First statistical anomaly to look for is the amount of decks being played. Or amount of the same deck being played, the quantity of how many players are playing the same exact deck. If it's anomalously big, large, then you ask yourself, is this deck fun, or are they just fucking... Or is this just cancer of the game? I found back in the day, Protoss Priest was a thing. And Protoss Priest was actually a non-toxic deck. I didn't find it very, like, OP. It was defeatable. A lot of people spammed it, though. And I was always, like, not understanding, like, why are they doing that? I can beat that shit. Protoss Priest is a good example of a popular deck that might not need that many nerfs. Would still need nerfs, though, because a popular deck would genuinely shake up the metagame. So that sort of statistic is very clean, I would say. It's how many of the same deck there is out there, because you want to always diversify the game as much as possible. You don't want it to be dominated by something, because that's pretty disgusting. That's disturbing. The next thing is domination of singular card. He mentioned Egg. Egg is like specifically of an interesting card to dominate with. You also need to draw it first. So things can go pretty wrong for egg decks. But generally speaking, when one card builds the entire deck, something is wrong. Because you can also, like, quickly nerf it. And without mercy, Blizzard developers should just cut that card. Punch that card where it belongs, all the way to the rock bottom, basically, and drag that class into the rock bottom, if it has to. It's the easiest fucking, like, just one-shot wonder. One nerf can destroy an entire deck. That means it's probably a toxic deck to begin with, if it relies on one card. You have, like, these mulligan win rates nonsense. You also have Zeddy looking into, like, the rate in how often a neutral legendary occurs in decks. We had neutral legendaries just mentioned, like Ziliax and Vanessa. We need to know, like, what are the most popular neutral legendaries and, you know, kick them in the face. I still don't recommend nerfing Vanessa any more than it already had. But if it truly occurs very often, which is, it doesn't. I don't see Vanessa, actually, personally. It could be, again, different atmosphere up in, like, High Legend. But down where I'm at, I don't see Vanessa. I get to play it. No one else gets to play it. And I'm just like, yeah, all right, I'll take it. If that's how it goes. If that means occurrence rating of that neutral legendary is pretty low. And I don't think we have anything to worry about. recently. Besides Maiev also got nerfed, so they doing the right thing to some extent. They're no longer assholes about nerfing cards. Like, Celiax, again, should have been nerfed even more times. Thank God there's no card like Celiax that has, like, 12 different mutations. And you only nerfed 6 of them, and you're pretending of, like, oh, we did the thing. We did the thing. At least was the peak Hearthstone insanity. At least bending the entire game on turn 4. That was insane. Insane that it took them time to nerf that card where they nerfed it anyways. So what the fuck is the point? You know, if we're gonna, like, twist reality anyway, so we're gonna realize that, well, it is uncomfortable to sit with the stupid cards. Why do we have to wait? Right? What's the waiting part about? You can generally tell when the card is absolute dog shit and is just very toxic to the game. You shouldn't wait for nerfs. And to me, buffs are the most useless thing there is. This the dumbest fucking thing they have invented. Completely pointless. In fact, actually ends up usually crippling the game because the cards have to get nerfed anyways. The buffs have to get nerfed. It's the most laughable thing. It's truly invention of the lower IQ individuals. You know, rock bottom IQ invention. If you want to fuck your game in the ass, gotta buff it up, man. Buff it up. Shit, now I'm thinking all the wrong examples as well. Cat or cat girl? One is appropriate to, to do that, and one is not, so will cancel you from YouTube. Alright, so you gotta buff it up.
Change the game designers because
Pick me. Pick me for a game designer.
these people are not doing their job.
Pick me. I'll do it for free. Through the phone. I'll tell you exactly what to do. Just in. Most cards need to get nerfed.
Just draw up good reports and no one would ask
I
any
do
questions.
like this sentiment of, like, oh, we print a bunch of stupid cards and then we have to roll with it for a month, but then we gonna nerf it, you know? Look at me, I fixed the game, and everyone cheers, basically. Yay, Blizzard, you did it. You fixed your own fucking flaw. What are you talking? We're beta testers for a reason, guys. The fact that we have to wait a long ass time, but you're a piece of fucking shit. You are dunking on Vanessa over and over again, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? What did Vanessa do to you? So fucking crazy. I had so much fun playing it. I went to a whole fucking next level with Vanessa, you know? Immediately. And I never... sometimes I felt that Vanessa is ass, you know, in other players' hands. I think she only belongs to me. But, bro, come on. How much can you dunk on that one, you know, simple card? What happened to you, bro? I'm starting to see a crack in his fucking ideology, rather. If your biggest problem is Vanessa.
The community would only thank you for doing your job.
Jesus.
It was the same with Vanessa. They released Vanessa, a whole month went by, and everyone had to deal with the crap. After a month, they nerfed her. Well, they nerfed her so hard that she hasn't played at all, meaning they killed her.
Oh, they killed her. No, they didn't. What are you fucking talking about now? Are you stupid? They killed her. Nobody plays her now. 1 mana difference killed the card entirely, altogether. It's over now, boys. It's over, guys. Still my win condition. What are you talking about? They killed her.
But specifically with this card, I am personally glad they did that because the card is fundamentally
I'm so glad. Come on, man. You gonna rub it in?
broken. It generates
You gonna rub it in, boy?
Resources and is impossible to predict.
Infinite. Well, I do understand where he's coming from, I guess, because he was fucking rubbing that shit in for a long time.
I mean,
I'm glad they did. Oh, whatever, dude.
You play her,
Whatever.
and either your opponent plays 6 cards, or they don't. Well, that kind of mechanic shouldn't
I
exist.
like playing cards.
And all this happened after a whole month. Even though it's obvious power gaps
I
between
literally can't live without Vanessa in every deck.
cards.
It's
We have a
impossible,
set meta
dude.
and Cataclysm, it can be countered, but they can play around it, though it's...
Weaknesses? Create weaknesses for the decks? What are you trying to invent? Are you trying to invent another way to nerf cards? What are you talking about? I think he's lost in the woods now. Fuck is wrong with you,
slows them
bro?
down, and they lose that is 2-drops that
I don't know what he's asking for,
are powerful
guys.
in tempo.
I'm starting to get
It draws
confused.
cards, cycles the deck. 3 mana, it puts out 16 mana worth of random...
It's not 16 mana. You gotta calculate tempo. It's not 16 mana anymore. It's way more. 8 drops are fucking crazy up in there. I think he had an impact in, like, helping nerf Jade Guardians. I mean, thank God for that. It was a guardian angel working behind the scenes.
But in fact, you buffed it because...
Yeah, you just spam 2 drops to... This is an example of a toxic deck. When you do something really fucking stupid, and you get extremely rewarded for it. Oh, the monkey got buffed? Oh, I guess. I don't know. How about monkey should deal 1 extra damage for every card you prepared this game? Oh, that would be kind of cool. Good monkey. I would play that monkey then. This, you could actually split apart synergies. You can deny synergies, just redesign the card to be completely playable in a different deck altogether. When the synergies are already good enough, basically. Now, it would kill Rogue instantly, right? But again, this, like, 2-drop spam nonsense is just very ugly design. It would be the same thing as just, like, spamming 1 drops, 2 drops, 3 drops. It doesn't fucking matter what you're spamming. It's just ugly to do something like that. Spamming spells is, like, more acceptable than spamming a specific mana cost cards. But you know what? I'll still hand it to them. 1 drops and 2 drops are, like, the most acceptable thing because you actually get to play cards. You imagine that?
I hope that happens.
I genuinely forgot what the monkey does previously, right? How it was nerfed. Exactly.
About,
anyways, I mean, the worst thing about this, these are these special synergy cards where the rest of your deck are 2 drops, but these 4 cards, they basically win you the game. This is sort of just the most unacceptable synergy where you're just relying on just a couple of cards to win you the game. Like, what are you doing? Confiscate this garbage and let people build real decks. How about that? Because Rogue is not dominant on ladder anymore. I mean, thank God for that.
even though
Everything is
first glance,
all these videos get outdated really fast, guys. I try to actually transcend time itself with my videos and talk like in more a principled way, where you can often see these like singular cards dominate the entire deck building process.
it might seem easy.
That shit's gonna keep happening. All right, way into the future.
Or actually complicated.
One of the best examples of shit like this are the quest cards. You have to build around the quest cards very much so. That's what people tend to do, but I wish quest cards are not something you build around, actually. Are just like a supplement to the deck that you can sometimes throw in because it kind of fits. It's a nice little boost, but instead, like, often quest cards just warp the whole meta. I'm surprised that it just stopped. Quest cards stopped being relevant altogether. But the underground decks, they love it. So quests kind of work in long term, then they're not a menace. But one of the weirdest things is, like, sometimes they nerf around cards that are obviously fucking broken. Quest cards are just the easiest thing to nerf. But I think we had the most smoothest experience with the recent quest. Like, previous iterations were kind of insane. Basically spawned the worst year of the game, rather. If you're not careful, I mean, that can fucking happen.
rather than just adjusting stats.
Change card mechanics instead of just stats. Yep.
+1 or -1 or minus.
Super agree with
One.
that.
Yes, but a card like that
5-6 lines of text? What reality are we living in, bro?
shouldn't exist.
I did not see that coming, guys.
Card away. Just mindlessly plays 2 drops.
Yay, he said it.
Mindlessly plays
He said the thing that I wanted him to say.
Jades. Simply dumps 25 mana on turn 6. Not counting.
I think this whole thing inspired the entire video, rather. That's how frustrating this bullshit is. Like, this card is just the reoccurring menace of this whole video.
World Championship. Main flip. And
I mean, at some point, there's gonna be some bullshit-ass deck that these competitive players have to play and look at the casino outcomes over and over again. It's definitely frustrating. It's definitely peak, frustration from the pro player. That's why I said, bro's a bitch. Bro came at the very specific point in time when his butt was itchy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't felt that much pressure. You can feel there's a different dimension where, like, this sort of, like, rogue deck is definitely even more frustrating because of how random it feels. Not only it's random to have the Jades in your hand in the first place, but it's random what kind of A-drops you get and if they actually manage to win you the game. And it's also extra random because there's no removals in the game. Removing minions is extremely fucking frustrating and impossible, basically. If an accidental 4-mana 7/7 spawns out of 1-mana cards, I guess you lose. Bye-bye.
And in every single game, too. Alright, that's just...
The only person who gets to have a removal is Warrior. I mean, Warrior always gets some exclusive fucking treatment.
Commentary is beside the point. Influence the outcome where you can...
Do not touch Vanessa like that anymore, okay? It's 7 mana. It's not yours. You're not here to talk about Vanessa no more like
win
that.
it or blow it with a wrong
My
decision.
guy.
Takeaway. I hope this video reaches Blizzard so they change their staff or add an employee who could be competent.
At this point, it's bitch behavior to just repeat the same shit over and over again.
For game balance, or at least start listening.
And really just begging for, like, the whole staff to change. I mean, I don't know, man. I said it's aggressive, but eventually it's bitch behavior because they just keep repeating the same point. He's very eager to that. I'm already on my knees hoping that someone wants to make a card game with me. I'm already begging a way out of this mess. But this guy doesn't get it yet. I don't know. This guy thinks he can just wishy-washy a new reality. I hope so too, but you never know. Maybe you'll fail. Maybe we'll forget 1 month later, and design principles will not actually update as a result of this. It's still pretty weak video, relatively, of what is possible. I understand all his points, but his points are like, 1 month of Hearthstone experience. You can come up with this fucking shit 1 month alone. It doesn't scream pro player besides that, he had to face a specific deck over and over again as well. I don't know, man. It's good, but not that deep.
Listening to opinions.
Mm-hmm.
$500, bring them to the States, and first and foremost, they will make your
I'll take that.
game an absolute gem.
I'll take that deal, but I hate States. I don't know. States sound like a scary thing. Bring to the States working visa. 2 years working visa. Can we get that deal? If there's some fucking way to do it cleanly and I don't have to think about it, yeah. Green lights. Let's fucking fix your game real quick. Alright? It is funny that he expects someone else to show up, basically, with high level of competence. I mean, okay, boomer. You want everyone else to do the job. Fucking hire yourself. Do you offer yourself as a tribute, sir? I offer myself as a tribute. Happy Hunger Games. May the odds be in my favor. Not the bad odds. Not the bad RNG.
Gem. mood of players.
May the RNG be ever in your favor. That's pretty good.
Streamers will
That's pretty
change.
good.
So that is little emotional ending to the
Emotional ending. Sob story,
Anyway, I dragged
bro.
this video out to 25 minutes for the third time.
Oh, he wanted to cut down the video to 15 minutes.
25 minutes? I won't
Such thoughtfulness.
record it anymore.
All right, I hear a lot of insecurities bleed through this video. Like, he's not a professional opinionator like I am. We did it, all right? We pushed through. It's not so bad, but at the same time, it's an illusion at the same time, guys. He's not English speaker. All English speakers are idiots, rather. I'm so sorry, but that's what it is in the end of the day. That's where Blizzard is as well. They're probably English speakers, aren't they? Fucking weirdos. That's where all these decisions coming from, guys. My personal take, competition. We need someone to punch Hearthstone in the face as soon as possible. The possibilities are endless, but apparently they have to face sudden death as well. For some reason. Someone has to find out a stable structure of how to make an evergreen card game without too much financial risk. I don't know. It's fucking... Like, you have to calculate that shit. Someone has to do it properly, but also not just financial risk, logical risk. If you cannot actually balance your stupid card game, you shouldn't even try at this point. The real winner of this whole story is fucking Raynad. Alright? Raynad made his card game. I hate it. I hate it personally. But I'm doomed to come back and just give it a second look, just try out some things, sunk in another 10 hours, or maybe 10 videos. I don't know. He's gonna have my attention eventually. You know, because he's the last man standing, and he is a competent fucking human being. Holy shit. He's not lying when he's fucking yapping about competence, okay? It's the first and foremost thing that's, like, always missing when you keep making mistakes over and over again, and you have no real ways of fixing it besides rotation. Fucking rotate the game itself. Where all the pieces just fall off. And then the most common complaint becomes, where are all the pieces? What am I supposed to play anymore? The game is never awesome, you know? The game is never as good as it can possibly be, which is such a disappointment, rather. And ultimately, I can never reach legend status when game sucks. Oh, that's also a problem. See you guys next time.